It's interesting to note that by the time someone reaches 80, they might find that they've lost as much as 50% of their muscle mass compared to when they were younger. Sarcopenia is a significant issue that affects over 50 million seniors around the world, subtly eroding the independence of many individuals. Every year, over 300,000 seniors end up in the hospital because of falls, and it's often due to muscle weakness, which is quite surprising. Recent findings shared in the Journal of Physiology suggest that experiencing significant muscle loss isn't necessarily a given. While it's true that many folks in their 70s might struggle with climbing stairs or getting up from a chair without a little assistance, there's also a remarkable group of seniors out there who maintain their muscle strength, functionality, and even look as vibrant as those much younger than them. Superagers often show incredible abilities, frequently outshining the performance of much younger individuals in strength tests. They keep on enjoying activities like hiking, playing sports, and living independently, all the way into their 90s. What's their game plan? Researchers at the Mayo Clinic have discovered specific practices that can notably slow down and even reverse the muscle loss that comes with aging. Surprisingly, 93% of older adults are completely unaware of these helpful strategies. Researchers at Harvard Medical School have discovered a vital practice that can help rebuild lost muscle, even for those in their 70s and 80s. Surprisingly, this important information is often overlooked by many healthcare professionals when they offer advice to their older patients. It's interesting to see that many medical professionals still offer advice that doesn't quite align with what we currently know about the key factors for maintaining strength as we age. Stick around until the end, because the first habit might just be something you're not handling quite right every day. This is a common mistake that sets off genetic pathways, resulting in more muscle breakdown. Taking a closer look at this habit could really shape your journey, helping you either thrive independently or lean on others as the years go by. Hey there! Before we dive in, I'd be super grateful if you could give this video a thumbs up. I'd love for you to join me in sharing these timeless lessons with others. If you haven't joined our little community yet, I warmly invite you to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way, you'll always be in the loop and never miss out on any of our videos. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to drop a comment with the number 1, and if it wasn't quite your cup of tea, feel free to share a 0 so I can make my future videos even better. Let's dive right in and start our adventure together. Habit number 7 is all about bringing in some hormetic stressors. People in their 80s who show incredible strength often participate in activities that might surprise you. They often put themselves through certain kinds of stress, which scientists like to call hormetic stressors. Hormesis is all about the surprising benefits that can come from being exposed to small amounts of substances that would usually be harmful in larger doses. In simple terms, the challenges you encounter can really boost your strength, especially when it comes to what you've discovered. Research from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging shows that short bursts of stress can actually spark protective responses in our cells. These responses help keep our muscles strong and even boost their function and growth, which is great news for folks in their 80s. Superagers often start their journey with temperature variation as their first hormetic stressor. Just a quick splash of cold water at the end of your shower, lasting about 30 to 60 seconds, or taking a brief dip in cold water can really do wonders. It helps kickstart brown fat, boosts the creation of mitochondria, and gets a hormone called adiponectin working, which plays a key role in protecting your muscles from breaking down. In a similar way, spending time in saunas or hot baths gets those heat shock proteins working. These little helpers are essential for fixing up damaged muscle cells and keeping protein breakdown at bay. A study from Finland found that people who enjoyed the sauna regularly, about 4 to 7 times a week, saw a remarkable 40% decrease in muscle loss over 10 years compared to those who skipped the sauna. Intermittent fasting, often referred to as time-restricted eating, acts as the second hormetic stressor. When folks choose to eat within an 8 to 10-hour window each day, they tap into a remarkable process called autophagy. This natural cellular cleanup crew works wonders by getting rid of damaged parts and boosting muscle quality, a habit often seen in those who enjoy long, healthy lives. According to findings from the Salk Institute, this practice can enhance muscle mitochondrial function by up to 10% in just 12 weeks, even if weight loss doesn't occur. The third hormetic stressor involves those quick, powerful muscle contractions that really get your blood pumping. People often referred to as super-agers regularly take part in a form of exercise that scientists call overcoming isometrics. This means putting in your all to push or pull against something that just won't budge, holding on for about 5 to 10 seconds. The quick but powerful contractions send clear messages to the muscle cells, helping them keep their size and function while also preventing too much strain on the joints. The power of these stressors comes from how they show up now and then. They ought to be brief, with enough time for recovery in between. When done right, these controlled stressors can activate longevity genes like sirtuins and FOXes, which are essential for keeping our muscle tissue healthy as we grow older. Start with small, manageable steps in these practices and gradually build your tolerance over time. It's important to find a balance when it comes to stress. Aim for a level that's manageable and even beneficial instead of pushing yourself to the brink. Habit number 6 highlights how crucial it is to time your protein intake just right. Many seniors focus on getting enough protein, but research suggests that when they eat, it might be even more important. As we grow older, our bodies start to show a bit of a slowdown when it comes to using protein effectively, a process that scientists have come to know as anabolic resistance. A recent study featured in the Journal of Nutrition suggests that older adults might benefit more from spreading their protein intake across different meals during the day, rather than just having it all in one sitting, which is a common habit. For many seniors, this is the key part. After each meal, there's a special window of time, usually about 3 to 4 hours, that's really important for your muscles to build protein. Eating all your protein at dinner, which is something a lot of seniors tend to do, can lead to missed chances for building muscle during the day. To make the most of your meals, aim for about 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein in each one, spreading it out evenly throughout the day. When it comes to breakfast, it's a great idea to include some protein sources like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a delicious protein smoothie. Relying only on toast or cereal might not give you the boost. You need to start your day right. When it comes to lunch and dinner, it's a great idea to stick with this approach by including lean meats, fish, dairy, or for our vegetarian friends, plant-based proteins like beans and lentils. Using this timing strategy can boost muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% compared to eating the same amount of protein in fewer meals. In a fascinating 12-week study carried out by the University of Texas, participants who followed this method saw an average muscle gain of 1.2 pounds, all while keeping their usual lifestyle intact without making any extra changes. It's important to understand that when you take in protein is just as vital as how much you consume when it comes to building muscle. This element can really make a difference in how your muscles grow or weaken. Hey there! If you're still hanging out and finding this info helpful, go ahead and drop a 6 in the comments so I can see you're with me. Habit number 5 is all about making sure your vitamin D levels are just right. It's interesting to note that over 80% of seniors show a lack of what researchers call the muscle vitamin. Many older adults are facing a common challenge with vitamin D deficiency, and it's subtly affecting their strength. This holds importance for a few key reasons. Vitamin D does so much more than just help keep our bones strong. Recent discoveries by researchers at Harvard reveal that vitamin D has a direct hand in turning on genes that are essential for muscle protein synthesis and growth. Your body's muscle cells have special vitamin D receptors. When these receptors are activated, they kickstart processes that help develop and maintain muscle tissue. A fascinating study featured in JAMA Internal Medicine showed that older adults who kept their vitamin D levels just right had 25% more muscle strength than those who were lacking in this important nutrient. They showed a noticeable boost in their balance, coordination, and reaction time, which are all key ingredients for keeping falls at bay. There are some incredible individuals out there, often referred to as superagers, who maintain a vibrant energy well into their 80s. These remarkable folks consistently show impressive vitamin D levels that go beyond 40 nanograms per milliliter. On the other hand, many seniors tend to show levels that fall below 20 nanograms per milliliter, which is considered to be deficient. What are some great ways to boost your vitamin D levels? While getting some sunlight is good for us, it's interesting to note that as we age, our skin produces about 50% less of what it needs from that sunshine. Many seniors find themselves needing a little extra support, and the usual suggestion of 600 international units per day just doesn't quite cut it. Research shows that most older adults need between 2,000 and 4,000 international units each day to reach their best levels. But it's important to adjust this based on personal blood test results. Combine this with foods rich in vitamin D, like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy products. Also, try to get 15 to 20 minutes of direct midday sun exposure whenever you can. It's an important reminder. Vitamin D works hand in hand with vitamin K2, making sure that calcium finds its way to your bones rather than settling in your arteries. You'll often find enough K2 in tasty fermented foods and certain animal products. Higher amounts of vitamin D supplements might be connected to how arterial calcification happens. The important link between vitamins is frequently missed, but it can really make a difference in your results. It's a good idea to chat with your doctor about getting a vitamin D blood test to check how your levels are doing. Try to boost those levels to go beyond 40 milligrams per milliliter for the best. Muscle preservation possible. The fourth habit, everyday tips for keeping inflammation in check. What do superagers who show impressive muscle strength have in common? They all show impressively low levels of inflammation. Researchers now recognize that chronic low-grade inflammation, often called inflammaging, significantly contributes to the muscle loss seen in older adults. This subtle inflammatory process sets off a chain of events that breaks down muscle protein faster than your body can rebuild it. It's quite concerning how inflammation can get in the way of those important anabolic signals that help our muscles grow after we exercise or enjoy some protein. A noteworthy study from Tufts University found that older adults with higher inflammation markers lost muscle mass at a rate 3 times faster than those with lower levels, regardless of how much they exercised or their protein intake. The folks who enjoy a long and vibrant life often follow specific anti-inflammatory strategies that many older adults might overlook. At first, they highlight how crucial it is to get good quality sleep, making sure to enjoy 7 to 8 hours of peaceful rest in completely dark surroundings. Not getting enough sleep can boost inflammatory cytokines by up to 40%, which can lead to faster muscle breakdown. Next up, they really focus on keeping gut health in check. Recent discoveries from the University of California suggest that changes in gut bacteria linked to aging have a direct impact on systemic inflammation. People celebrated for their remarkable Longevity makes sure to include a wide range of fiber sources in their daily meals, aiming for more than 30 different plant foods every week. They also feature fermented delights like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut, all packed with natural probiotics. If you're still hanging out with me, I'd love for you to drop a 4 in the comments to show me you found this helpful. The third habit is that they tackle exercise intensity with a thoughtful approach. Keeping things moving consistently is really important, but when older adults dive into too much high-intensity exercise, it can sometimes stir up a bit more inflammation than they bargained for. People who do a great job of staying youthful usually make it a point to get some moderate exercise most days, and they like to mix in a few short bursts of high-intensity workouts once or twice a week. They regularly include certain anti-inflammatory compounds in their diet, especially omega-3 fatty acids, aiming for a daily intake of 2 to 3 grams from sources like fatty fish or supplements. They also enjoy curcumin from turmeric and foods, rich in polyphenols such as berries, green tea, and extra virgin olive oil. A study featured in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reveals that this combination might help lower inflammatory markers by up to 29% over a span of 12 weeks. It's a good idea to monitor your inflammation levels with a simple blood test that checks for high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, or HSCRP. Superagers typically show levels below 1.0 milligrams per liter, while the average senior often has levels that are 3 to 5 times higher. The third habit is an interesting one, making it a habit to include specific vitamins in your daily routine. While traditional nutrition advice usually focuses on macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fats, those who are celebrated for their impressive longevity and muscle strength pay close attention to specific micronutrients. These little powerhouses are essential for boosting muscle function and helping with protein synthesis. The essential nutrients are like the trusty sidekicks that help your body make the most of the protein you consume and boost the benefits of your workout routine. Even when you're getting enough protein and sticking to your workout routine, there are times when you might still notice a drop in muscle mass. Magnesium is a remarkable element that often gets overlooked. Researchers at the University of Vermont have dubbed it the essential electrolyte for keeping our muscles in tip-top shape. It turns out that a large number of seniors, over 70%, are lacking this important mineral. This mineral is vital because it helps with more than 300 enzymatic reactions that are key to keeping our muscles functioning well. A study that came out in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2021 found something quite interesting. Older adults who had enough magnesium showed a 30% boost in grip strength and significantly better physical performance compared to those who had even slight deficiencies. People celebrated for their remarkable long lives often enjoy a diet filled with magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and even a bit of dark chocolate. They often boost their intake with easily absorbed supplements such as magnesium glycinate or threonate. Next up is creatine, a supplement that offers its perks to more than just young bodybuilders. Research from McMaster University shows that older adults who added creatine to their routine saw impressive gains in muscle mass, strength, and even cognitive function, outpacing the advantages of strength training by itself. Taking 3 to 5 grams each day can boost your muscle energy and increase the water content in your muscle cells, creating a great environment for growth. Methylated B12 is a B vitamin that often doesn't get the recognition it deserves. As we get older, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing B12, mainly because the production of stomach acid decreases. It's quite concerning to think that common medications like metformin and proton pump inhibitors can lead to a decrease in this essential vitamin. A lack of certain nutrients can really impact how our muscles generate energy and how our nerves operate. People who thrive as they age often opt for methylcobalamin, the bioactive form of vitamin B12, rather than the more budget-friendly cobalamin found in typical multivitamins. Zinc, selenium, and chromium are like little helpers in our bodies, playing a crucial role in making proteins and improving how our bodies respond to insulin. These processes are key for ensuring that nutrients reach our muscle tissue effectively. A detailed study by Tufts University found that older adults who had sufficient levels of these trace minerals managed to keep about 22% more muscle mass over 5 years compared to those who were lacking in them. Rather than just grabbing a standard multivitamin off the shelf, those who thrive as they age often take the time to get micronutrient testing done. This helps them discover their specific deficiencies and customize their supplements to fit their needs perfectly. This personalized approach ensures that people are addressing their unique biochemical needs rather than wasting money on nutrients that aren't really necessary. Habit number 2 is all about taking care of your neuromuscular junctions. There's a fascinating topic that tends to fly under the radar for a lot of seniors. The issue of muscle loss goes beyond just the muscle fibers themselves. The first signs of decline usually show up in the link between your nerves and muscles. Think of neuromuscular junctions as little electrical outlets in our bodies, supplying the spark needed to get our muscles moving. As we age, especially after hitting the milestone of 60, our bodies start to change in ways that can be surprising. One of those changes is how our brain talks to our muscles. Even if we're keeping up with our protein and staying active, that communication can start to slip away. A recent study from the University of Michigan has shown that super agers, those remarkable individuals with extraordinary strength, enjoy much better health outcomes than their average senior peers. It's quite fascinating how researchers have discovered specific ways that can help maintain and even refresh these vital connections. The first step in this practice involves a variety of movement patterns that require precision and coordination. Activities like Tai Chi, dance, tennis, or even a friendly game of ping pong have shown a remarkable ability to strengthen the connections between our muscles and our brains, offering more benefits than just a leisurely walk or traditional strength training. These activities encourage your nervous system to activate muscle fibers in particular ways, which helps to strengthen the connections between nerves and muscles. In a fascinating study from 2020, published in the Journal of Physiology, researchers found that older adults who took part in coordination-demanding activities twice a week saw a remarkable 31% improvement in the preservation of their neuromuscular junctions. This was in contrast to those who stuck to traditional exercise routines. Isn't it interesting how mixing things up can lead to such positive results? The second practice centers around compounds that are specially crafted to boost neuromuscular health. Studies show that alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl-L-carnitine can help protect the connection between nerves and muscles from oxidative damage. It's interesting to note that certain forms of vitamin B1, like benphetamine and huperzine, which comes from Chinese club moss, might help increase acetylcholine levels. This neurotransmitter plays a crucial role in activating our muscles. Super agers are individuals who practice specific breathing techniques that help stimulate the vagus nerve, which is important for regulating how our nerves and muscles communicate with each other. Using simple techniques like box breathing can really make a difference. Just take a moment each day to inhale for 4 counts, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. Doing this for just 5 minutes can boost the neural activation of your muscles by as much as 15%. It's really fascinating to see how cognitive engagement ties in with the preservation of our neuromuscular functions. A fascinating study from Columbia University found that older adults who regularly engaged in complex cognitive activities showed significant improvements in their muscle function. The researchers found that taking on cognitive challenges can really boost the neuromuscular system through the connections in our neural pathways. By using these neuromuscular preservation strategies, superagers keep those vital connections that allow their brains to effectively engage muscle fibers even into their 80s and beyond. The first habit is to get involved in progressive resistance training. If you're still hanging out with me, I'd love for you to drop a 2 in the comments to show that you found this info helpful. Researchers at Tufts University have uncovered a vital habit that sets apart 80-year-olds with incredible strength from the rest. This practice is considered the most effective anti-aging intervention ever discovered. Progressive resistance training, while different from the usual approaches many seniors use, is embraced by superagers. These remarkable individuals show strength levels that are much younger than their actual age. They participate in resistance training that follows specific protocols designed to tackle the biological processes that contribute to muscle loss. There's a simple truth that many seniors tend to miss. Muscle function follows the simple idea of using it or losing it. It's really important that they face new challenges along the way to help keep them safe and thriving. Simply sticking to walking, water aerobics, or using the same light weights week after week won't quite cut it when it comes to keeping your muscle mass intact after you hit 60. What sets superagers apart in their approach? The main focus is on intensity rather than how long it lasts. Research from McMaster University shows that older adults who take part in high-intensity resistance training, pushing their muscles to near failure twice a week, see more significant muscle gains than those who stick to moderate intensity workouts 5 times a week. Reaching that point of momentary muscular failure is really important. This is the point where you can't do another repetition without losing your form. This sparks some pretty impressive anabolic reactions that get your muscle protein synthesis going strong for up to 72 hours after you work out. Secondly, folks who really shine tend to concentrate on compound movements that engage multiple muscle groups all at once. Squats, deadlifts, rows, presses and pulls can often be adjusted to meet the unique mobility and joint health requirements of each person. Compound movements create a bigger hormonal response than isolation exercises like bicep curls or leg extensions. Third, they embrace the idea of progressive overload, which means gradually ramping up the resistance or challenge as time goes on. Your muscles react to the challenges you give them, so if you keep lifting the same weights day in and day out, you might find yourself hitting a bit of a standstill in your progress. Superagers are folks who keep a close eye on their exercise routines, always striving to make little gains as they go along. Fourth, there's a special emphasis on those quirky or slower phases of exercises, which research shows can be particularly helpful for boosting strength in older adults. As you gradually decrease the weights, you'll find that the tension in your muscle fibers increases, all while keeping the stress on your joints to a minimum. This method shows incredible success, even for those who start their journey a bit later than the rest. A fascinating study from the University of Alabama found that folks in their 70s who took part in progressive resistance training saw an average muscle gain of 3.3 pounds and an impressive 35% boost in strength in just 12 weeks. Interestingly, these changes went hand in hand with improvements in blood glucose control, bone density, and cognitive function. What's the most common mistake that seniors often make? Many people believe that resistance training is risky or not important for individuals at this stage of life, but that's a common misconception. Ignoring resistance training can lead to some serious consequences. It allows muscle mass to decline, which can make us more fragile, increase the chances of falling, and even threaten our independence. Focusing on just one habit from this whole video, let's talk about the importance of progressive resistance training. Start your adventure with some friendly tips to ensure you're using the right technique. Start at a comfortable intensity that matches your current fitness level, and then gradually build up from there. Spending just 2 half-hour sessions each week can truly change the way you experience aging. Let me share with you 7 evidence-based habits that show how some remarkable 80-year-olds maintain muscle strength that rivals folks many decades younger than them. Start today with the habit that feels the simplest for you to embrace, and then gradually weave the others into your daily routine. The decisions you're making today are sure to bring you great rewards for your strength and independence down the road. We'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas. Which of these 7 habits are you putting into practice right now, and which one surprised you the most? Do you know anyone in their 70s or 80s who shows incredible strength for their age? We'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas, so feel free to share them in the comment section below. We can't wait to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning in.